I'm moaning about the players, but it's because they set such high standards. I'm not giving them stick. I am just telling you how I saw it. We're not going to get many teams like Newcastle coming to Bramall Lane and just sitting back. Mate, just try and stop it. Just try. Do we want to drop points? Do we? I hope you like the backdrop, by the way. I've changed it up a little bit. I'm stood up and I've got 2 shirts behind me. I'm going to put more shirts up here and to this side so it's all shirts. Blades, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I'm Ingood Nick, and last night I watched Sheffield United 0, Newcastle 2, and it was a very, very tough game to watch. It takes me back to kind of last season, the season before, when teams were just trying to come to Bramall Lane, sit back, and just absorb all the pressure and try and hit us on the break. And it started really badly. You just know it. As soon as the team that's sitting back gets that first goal, you know it's going to be 8 men behind the ball, 9 men behind the ball, 10 men behind the ball at times. It's just one of them games, isn't it, really? Like, we weren't really good enough. Looking at that game, we didn't have loads and loads of chances, loads of clear-cut opportunities that we missed. Their goalkeeper wasn't pulling off save after save after save. He pulled off a couple of decent saves. Other than Billy Sharp's header from close range where it was offside, we didn't really test him too much. I'd expect Dean Henderson to make all those saves all day long. So anyway, let's start from the beginning. So the team was Henderson, Basham, Egan O'Connell, Baldock, Lundstrom, Norwood, Fleck, Stevens, as always. And then he started Sharp and McBurney up top. Now, when I saw that, 2 things went through my mind. The first thing was, okay, we're not starting Moussa. It's probably a good thing because obviously Moussa's played a lot of games recently. He kind of tires towards the sort of 60th minute, something like that. So maybe it's time to just give him a little rest and bring him on to try and change the game later on. Thought McBurney or Sharp would have been fine up front with McGoldrick. We missed McGoldrick yesterday. Yeah, the other thing that went through my mind is, if we don't win tonight, people are going to give Wild a stick for putting those 2 up front. But sometimes you've got to try little things. You've got to try different things because we don't want McGoldrick, Moussa running themselves into the ground. I think it was the right thing to do in the sense that at least rest one of them, which I would have rested Moussa. And I'd probably started Sharp with McGoldrick with obviously how well they played together last season. But it started off a little bit poor. Like, obviously they scored quite early on. They scored in the 15th minute. I thought it was earlier than that. But yeah, they came out of the blocks quite quickly, quicker than us. But you could see from kind of minute 1 that the passes were going astray a little bit. The passing was a little bit too slow. And that just carried on all day long. So the goal came from a bad clearance, really. It was a slice of a clearance that went out wide. Andy Carroll on the wing, and they score a header in the middle of the box by one of the smallest guys on the pitch. Anyway, so Andy Carroll obviously on the wing, lays it back, the ball gets whipped into the box. Basham just completely gets caught under it. Completely. I just don't think he was paying attention really. He was like, ball's there, I'm going to head it away at some point when it comes to me. And he just got out-jumped. Well, not out-jumped. He jumped, Basham didn't. That was the first goal. It was a mistake by Basham. You can't say it wasn't, but we'll let him off because he's been excellent this season. So that's how it started. And then as soon as they scored that goal, it was 5-4. 5 defenders, 4 midfielders behind the ball pretty much at all times. Enda Stevens got away down the left, deflection, brilliant save from Dubravka. Gotta say that, it was an excellent save. But it wasn't kind of an excellent save from one of our shots, it was a deflection. Like, it was a deflection. Then it felt like all we were doing all game long was just passing it from side to side. Like I said in my tweet, side to side, loose pass, lost the ball, regained the ball, side to side, into Billy Sharp, into McBurney, out wide, and it just felt like that all game long. Yeah, it was short passes, They were loose passes, over-hit passes. The thing is, when you're playing against a team that's just going to sit back like that, you've got to move the ball quick. You've got to move the ball precisely. The ball has got to be in front of the player. Forward, get it in front of him. Get moving. Same with O'Connell to Andy Stevens. Same with everyone really. It was just not good enough. Alan Owen's passes weren't on point today. There were quite a few long diagonal balls that he played that just didn't reach the man, which they always do. So that I'm not giving Ollie any stick whatsoever, because Ollie's been excellent again this season. Like, his range of passing is incredible. But there were, again, a lot of loose passes, a lot of over-hit passes. It just wasn't quite good enough to unlock a door like Newcastle's, where they're just going to sit back. So, like I said, we had a few balls into the box. Cross came in, McBurney headed it back across the goal, and Dubravka made another really good save. But again, Dean Henderson would have made that save quite comfortably. So it was a difficult header to take on, difficult to kind of direct it right in that corner with the power, because obviously as the ball was coming in, it was backing off, and then it's so difficult to get that power on the header. But again, that's all we did all day long. It was just cross into the box. Other than that Ender Stevens shot early on that took a deflection and the keeper saved, we didn't really create a clear-cut opportunity, as in kind of passing the ball, pass and move, getting a striker through. I think Billy Sharp had one where he got put through. It was a bit heavy, and then he just tried to get something on it and he put it wide. But it was just, I'm saying the same thing because that's what happened all night. Now, let's stop for a second. I'm moaning about the players, but it's because they set such high standards. I'm not giving them stick. I am just telling you how I saw it. Like I said, the passes weren't good enough. It wasn't quick enough. It wasn't fluid enough. We tended to not really use the overlapping centre-backs like we normally do. I don't remember seeing Jack O'Connell in their half a lot. In the second half, Basham, I wouldn't even say was overlapping. It was just kind of in their 18-yard box at all times, it seemed. That was the first half, really. I can't really think of any other clear-cut chances. I think Fleck, Norwood, and I think obviously Norwood had most of the ball. It was orchestrating everything because we weren't getting anything in that sort of area just in front of the 18-yard box, because obviously they were just stacking players. So Norwood was just picking the ball up off to the right, off to the left, off to the right, off to the left, and he's obviously trying to pick that pass through the middle. There was just no room whatsoever. So fair play to Newcastle. They are going to go to a lot of different stadiums this season and do the exact same thing as what they did to us last night. But we just weren't good enough to unlock that door. Another day we probably would have been. Another day we wouldn't have conceded such an early goal, and that's what put us in bad stead. That is what put us in bad stead. The fact that we conceded so early, that let them just sit back and just absorb all the pressure and just try and hit us on the counter. Because obviously they've got Andy Carroll. He's very immobile, whatever the word is. So he's obviously just up there to try and hold the ball up, bring other players into it, and obviously win those headers in the box. But then they've got Almiron, they've got Saint Maxim, or whatever his name is. I'm so bad with these names. That can attack with pace, really quick, really tricky, can get away from you really, really simply. However, I don't think either of them played too well. Yeah, so Fleck and Lundstrom didn't really get a chance to get into the game, I didn't think much. They were trying to. I didn't think Ender Stevens particularly played that well. He had a lot of the ball down that left-hand side, but didn't do a lot with it. Again, it was just a lot of crosses. McBurney, I thought McBurney was brilliant in the first half too, and I didn't expect it. I was saying before the game, as soon as I saw the team sheet, this proves that I am not biased when it comes to kind of United players, because I'm not McBurney's biggest fan. I was before he put on a Blade shirt, but I'm not now. However, I said before the game, oh God, I can see me moaning about McBurney in my video after the game. McBurney was brilliant in the first half. He held the ball up quite well. He brought players into the game. My problem with McBurney is in the past, he's just ran around like a headless chicken. He's not linked up play very well. McGoldrick and Fleck and Lundstrom all linking up brilliantly, and then he's just kind of running about waiting for a chance. Our strikers don't do that. I suppose Billy Sharp did last season, but in this league, we've got to be kind of all as a team. Our style of play is very fluid, so we need players to be pass and move, pass and move. We can't just have McBurney just stood up front waiting for a chance. He's got too much potential and he's got too much ability to be just stood up front waiting to score a goal. Because don't get me wrong, I love Billy Sharp. He's a great finisher. He's good at what he does, but he's not great at the link-up play. But McBurney should be that guy. He's a really good footballer. He's a tall lad. He's not a broad lad. He's a tall lad. And that was my problem in the second half. I think he got bullied quite a bit from the defenders. So yeah, I thought everyone played okay in the first half. I'm not saying all the passing was terrible. It just wasn't quick enough. Anyway, we got into the second half. Newcastle seemed to come out a little bit in the first kind of 5 minutes. And then after the first 5 minutes, they went back to sitting back. Yeah, in that first half, it was kind of like Wednesday when they came to Bramall Lane under Josh Lukai. Just sat back all game long. But in the second half, they had a few attacks. But again, it was just us all game long. But we were doing the same things again. My beef was that Jack O'Connell was so far back at all points. Like kind of 20 minutes ago when we were 2-0 down, Egan was going up front. And I understand that you're going to knock the ball into the box for a big central defender to win the ball. Egan's not that big, but he's quite overpowering when it comes to kind of aerial duels. Jack O'Connell is one of those lads that you want. Why weren't he overlapping? Why weren't Basham overlapping? We didn't go for those overloads in wide areas. And that's what we needed tonight. Stevens and Baldock were just getting outnumbered all the time. And that's how they nullified our overlapping centre-backs. But the problem was they got so many men back that they outnumbered us on the left, outnumbered us on the right, and outnumbered us through the middle as well, because three central defenders, they're not like our three central defenders. Obviously, Basham and O'Connell are constantly going up and down. Their three central defenders just sat, like Wednesday did again when they came to Bramall Lane. Just 5 defenders across the back. And that's all I can really liken it to when Wednesday came to Bramall Lane, because I've never seen any other team come to Bramall Lane and do that much that much sitting back. Obviously, they had those banks, but when they tried to get forward, they had sort of Almiron. But Almiron was running from deep, so you can tell how deep he was most of the game. Same with St. Maxim. So yeah, it was just one of them games, guys. We're not going to get many teams like Newcastle coming to Bramall Lane and just sitting back. Norwich won't do it. The only way that Watford will do it is if they change their style of play, which is possible. I think they're still bottom of the league. So they're going to have to change it up. So they may do that when they come to Bramall Lane. You're not going to see Man City doing that. You're not going to see Chelsea coming here and doing that. You're not even going to see Everton or West Ham doing that, because their fans would be embarrassed to come to Bramall Lane and watch their team put 10 men behind the ball at all times. But anyway, second goal. Let's talk about the second goal. No, I'm not going to bang on about it too much, because I've got a bit of a different opinion to a lot of Blades fans, so I might get a bit of stick for this. So, here we go. I'm going to be honest, I thought we had ourselves to blame. We really did, because I'm blowing my own trumpet here, but as soon as that flick on happened, and it got to Shelvey's feet, and the linesman gave offside, I said out loud, everyone heard me round me, because I'm loud, if he takes that ball towards Henderson, scores with no one around him, even though he's given offside, it's got to be a goal if it goes to VAR and he's not offside. So why didn't the players think, let's track him back just in case? You never know, it might not be offside. The amount of decisions that have been overturned, especially offsides this season, because of VAR and linesmen's just getting it wrong. I blame our lads. I really do, and I'm going to get loads of stick and I'm going to get loads of dislikes. But that's how I see it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's difficult to kind of get used to a new rule, but you've got to play to the whistle. You've got to. Like, I'm only a fan, and I saw that from a million miles away. And the thing was, when I saw it, I'm like, he were all on his own. There were no point in him chasing back because they wouldn't have got anywhere near him. However, when I've looked back, you see Egan stood there with his hand up, you see Enda Stevens on the other side, and they both stopped and just looked and were like, he's probably offside. You've just got to track back. And if they'd have tracked back, they might not have got to him, but they'd at least put pressure on him, with them two putting pressure on him, Henderson putting pressure on him, which he didn't do, by the way. Dean Henderson was just like, yeah, it's offside, and then put a half-arsed attempt of trying to save it. Mate, just try and stop it. Just try. Like, what else have you got to do? Don't just put your hand up and just wait. Play to the whistle. Anyway, I get what people are saying. I get that people are saying, what's the point in officials if it's just going to be kind of, you're going to have to play on anyway, what's the point in them making the decisions? I get that. I get that the players aren't quite used to waiting for, like, carrying on when kind of a linesman puts his flag up. I don't think the ref blew his whistle, but like I say, you've just got to carry on. Just carry on. And that's the thing. It is sucking the life out of the game. I agree, Chris Wilder, it is sucking the life out of the game. But do we want to drop points? Do we? Like, they've got to carry on. If they'd have carried on, they wouldn't have scored that goal, would have still been in that game. There still would have been a chance of getting a point out of the game. Where we go from here? We've done this lots of times in the past. We've had games where we just couldn't unlock the door, and then we've got into the next game and absolutely smashed it. It's been very frustrating the last 3 games, playing 3 top teams off the park for the most part and not taking 3 points in any of them. But 3 draws to Tottenham, Man United and Wolves. 3 excellent points, especially 2 of them are away from home. It would have just been nice for us to get that win. So anyway, that's me done. Yeah, a little bit annoyed, but it's one of them things, guys. Look where we are. Look where we've come from. We're a League One team. A lot of these players were League One players. They were Championship players, and they're playing out of their skins. They're making Newcastle United, come to Bramall Lane and sit back. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought right at the start of this season that we'd have big teams? I know Newcastle aren't the team that they used to be, but I'd never thought I'd say that beginning of the season, never mind kind of 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, that Newcastle had come to Bramall Lane, just sit in and kind of defend all game. Never in my wildest dreams I thought that'd happen. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you are new around here, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, smash a like on it, and stay good, Nick.